sure that these settings best support their children's specific learning needs. Parental involvement is observed in the school setting in the Philippines. The amount of participation a parent has when it comes to the schooling of his or her children fosters healthy outcomes. Parental involvement is needed in children's education. H. Castillon and A. Bonotan stated that home and school partnership develop 3 R's: rapport, reaching out, and recognition to parents. Moreover, involvement of parents to school help the learners to build confidence, to become sociable and active learners. Less involvement of parents tends to have kids who are time withdrawn and perform less. Parenting is important in the Philippine educational setting because family is viewed as a center to one's social world. Community. Many of today's learners in education, business, and community development are coming to realize that schools alone cannot prepare our youth for a productive adulthood. It is evident that schools and communities should work closely with each other to meet their mutual goals. Schools can provide more support for students, families, and staff when they are an integral part of the community. Appropriate and effective collaboration and teaming are seen as key factors to community development, learning, and family self-sufficiency. Partnerships should be considered as connections between schools and community resources. Partnership 1. Utilization of school or neighborhood facilities and equipment or giving out other resources. 2. Collaborative fundraising and grant applications, giving assistance. 3. Mentoring and training from professionals and others with special expertise. 4. Information sharing and dissemination. 5. Networking, recognition, and public relations. 6. Shared responsibility for planning. 7. Implementation and evaluation of programs and services. 8. Expanding opportunities for internships, jobs, recreation, and building a sense of community.
School community partnerships can intertwine many resources and strategies to enhance communities that supports all youth and their families. They could make school better, strengthen neighborhoods, and lead to a national depletion in young people's problems. Building such partnerships requires visioning, strategic planning, creative leadership, and new adaptable roles for professionals who work in school and communities. Conducting a mini survey. Filipino relationships are surveyed in the family, school, community, and other agencies. Find out how social relationship occurs in the lives of teenagers by conducting a mini survey. In community, conducting a mini survey, you have to know how it's done. Mini survey are carefully focuses on a specific topic. It contains only 50 to 30 questions. It is given to a small sample of 25 to 70 people. It usually uses from closed and open-ended questions. This is the use question that forces the respondent to choose from a small set of alternative answers, rather than inviting a fairly expanded comment. Uses of mini survey. To get a picture that will help you to design the next stage of your research. To assess the feasibility of a project, to get reaction from beneficiaries to evaluate projects.
Advantages of mini-survey. A mini-survey can be completed in 3 to 7 weeks, compared to large surveys that can take a year before the whole process is completed and the results are analyzed.
Technically, mini surveys for development research are usually structured interviews rather than questionnaires. Because questionnaires include people who cannot read, interviews have the added advantage of allowing you to help people to a process that may be culturally alien, confusing, or intimidating. 2. The respondents are few. And number 3, a mini survey may not give you great precisions, but it may be good enough to give you a general pictures of a situation, trends, and patterns.
Steps in conducting a mini-survey. Step 1. Ask yourself. A. What do I want to find out? Why? B. Is this technique the way to get this kind of information? C. When I get the answers to these questions, will they meet my needs? Step 2. There are ready-made surveys questions which were utilized by some researchers and may be good enough for your purposes. This may provide you with some useful ideas and information and will allow you to use for your study. This may also take you to go to a step a little further, for it gives a little ease to do. However, do not automatically use someone else's questions unless you are convinced they will work for you. You must decide whether you are going to ask your questions of the entire group or second, you use sampling. Step 4. Prepare your questions to be asked from your respondents. Learn to write good questions and thinking things through and by knowing the people who will answer them.
In writing question, the do's and the don'ts. The following guidelines for writing question were adapted from the work of cross-cultural research expert Brislin, Lunar, and Thorndike, 1973, who created them to help translating question from one language to another, but they are useful even when you do not have to translate. 1. Use short, simple sentence of less than 16 words. However, sensitive question might require a softener. 2. Use the active rather than the passive voice. Should the teacher discipline the student rather than should discipline be carried out by the teacher. 3. Repeat nouns instead of using pronouns. When the teacher some memorandum, he was terrified. Who was terrified? Avoid metaphor. And qualism, and L. Jim agreed, but Eloise thought that was horse of different color. Avoid the subjective mode such a verb with the cold and would. If the school could improve its security system, old people send morgar. Avoid vague word such nearer, often frequent. Would you like to live nearer to Baguio? 6. Avoid passive. From the possible Mila's sister to her request to her teacher. Whose request? Or whose request? Teacher. Use specific rather than general terms. The chief, the teacher, rather than authorities. The soccer club, the debating team rather than extracurricular activities. 8. Avoid words with two different verbs. If the verb suggests two different action, should villager attend the challenge the teacher at the parent-teacher meeting.
So that is lesson 6 for this video. Thank you for watching.